What if one of the most important victories of World War II was won not with tanks, battleships, or bombers, but with a dead man carrying a briefcase? A man who never existed. A secret plan so bizarre that many believed it would fail. Yet historians now consider it one of the greatest deception operations in military history. The question is, how did a corpse help change the course of World War II? And what hidden secrets about Operation Mincemeat are still debated today? Before we dive deeply, kindly subscribe to my page, follow, like, and share for more hidden history, untold stories, and fascinating historical mysteries. By 1943, World War II had entered a critical phase. Nazi Germany still controlled vast areas of Europe. The Allies had achieved important victories in North Africa, but the road to victory remained uncertain. British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and Allied commanders faced a major challenge. How could they invade southern Europe without allowing Germany to predict their next move? Military planners believed Sicily was the logical target. Unfortunately, the Germans believed the same thing. That created a dangerous problem. If Germany concentrated its forces in Sicily, Allied casualties could be catastrophic. The Allies needed a distraction. Not a small distraction. A deception capable of convincing Hitler himself. Inside British intelligence, a small group of officers began discussing an idea that sounded more like fiction than military strategy. Among them were Naval Intelligence Officer Ewan Montague and Intelligence Specialist Charles Chumley. The proposal was extraordinary. What if the Germans could be tricked into discovering secret documents? Documents that appeared genuine. Documents revealing false invasion plans. Documents so convincing that German intelligence would believe they had uncovered one of the Allies' greatest secrets. The challenge was obvious. How do you make fake documents believable? The answer would lead to one of the strangest operations in wartime history. The planners made a shocking claim. They believed they could convince Nazi Germany that the Allied invasion would strike Greece and Sardinia instead of Sicily. And they intended to accomplish this using a dead body. Even some British officials were skeptical. The operation sounded absurd. Yet intelligence experts understood something important. People often believe information they think they discovered themselves. If German agents believed they had secretly obtained classified Allied documents, they might trust them more than information received through conventional channels. The plan moved forward. The operation required a body. Not just any body. A body that could plausibly pass as a British military officer. The search eventually led to a deceased man whose identity remained hidden from the public for many years. His body became the foundation of the operation. British intelligence carefully constructed an entirely fictional identity. The man would become Major William Martin of the Royal Marines. But creating a fake officer involved far more than a uniform. He needed a life. A believable life. Intelligence officers created one of the most detailed fictional biographies in military history. Major Martin carried personal letters, bank documents, photographs, receipts, identity papers, even evidence of a romantic relationship. The planners understood a critical principle. Real people leave behind messy details. If German intelligence examined the body, everything needed to appear authentic. Every item was selected with extraordinary care. The goal was not merely to fool the enemy. The goal was to make the deception impossible to doubt. The next phase was dangerous. The body was transported by submarine. The destination, the coast of Spain. Spain was officially neutral during World War II. However, British intelligence believed German agents operating there would gain access to any important military discoveries. The body was released into the water. Soon afterward, local authorities discovered the apparent victim of an aircraft accident. Exactly as the planners intended. Now they could only wait. Would anyone believe the story? Attached to Major Martin was a briefcase. Inside were documents designed to deceive German intelligence. The papers suggested that Allied forces planned major operations elsewhere. Sicily appeared secondary. Greece appeared critical. The deception was subtle. The documents did not scream secret invasion. Instead, they contained realistic correspondence and military discussions. This realism became one of the operation's greatest strengths. The best lies often contain large amounts of truth. Historians have extensively studied Operation Mincemeat. Evidence shows German intelligence obtained access to the documents. German analysts considered them authentic. Most importantly, Adolf Hitler appears to have accepted the deception. German military resources were redirected. Defensive preparations increased in areas identified by the false documents. Meanwhile, Sicily received less attention than it otherwise might have. Modern historians generally agree that Operation Mincemeat contributed significantly to Allied strategic success. Though it was not the sole factor, it became an important element of a much larger campaign. In July 1943, Allied forces launched Operation Husky, the invasion of Sicily. The operation became one of the largest amphibious assaults of the war. German commanders faced confusion regarding Allied intentions. Some resources had already been diverted elsewhere. The invasion succeeded. Sicily fell. The consequences extended far beyond the island itself. The campaign weakened Axis positions in the Mediterranean. It also accelerated political changes inside Italy. A major turning point in the war had begun. Yet beneath the celebration lies a controversy. Who was the man behind Major William Martin? For decades, his true identity remained secret. Different theories emerged. Researchers debated the details. Questions arose regarding consent, ethics, and the treatment of human remains during wartime. Supporters argued the operation saved countless lives. Critics questioned whether the use of a deceased individual for military deception raised difficult moral questions. The debate continues today. Then came an unexpected twist. The operation's success was so remarkable that many people assumed it must have been exaggerated. Could one corpse really influence the decisions of powerful military leaders? The answer appears to be yes, but only because Operation Mincemeat was part of a broader deception strategy. The dead man alone did not win the war. He became the centerpiece of a carefully coordinated intelligence campaign involving multiple layers of misinformation. This hidden context is often overlooked. The famous corpse became the symbol. The larger deception network became the engine. Operation Mincemeat transformed military intelligence. It demonstrated the power of deception. Future intelligence services studied the operation closely. Military academies analyzed its methods. Books, documentaries, and films brought the story to new generations. What once seemed impossible became a case study in strategic thinking. The operation proved that information itself can become a weapon, sometimes as powerful as armies. The story reveals a deeper truth about warfare. Victory is not always determined by firepower. Sometimes victory belongs to those who understand human psychology. The planners behind Operation Mincemeat understood something profound. People often see what they expect to see. And once a false belief takes hold, it can shape real-world decisions. That principle remains relevant today, not only in war, but in politics, intelligence, business, and information warfare. More than 80 years later, Operation Mincemeat remains one of history's greatest deception stories. A dead man, a fake identity, a briefcase full of secrets, and a mission that helped shape the outcome of World War II. Yet one question still lingers. If such an extraordinary deception could succeed during one of the most important conflicts in history, how many other operations, hidden beneath layers of secrecy, remain undiscovered? And what if some of history's biggest turning points were influenced by deceptions we still don't know about? Because Operation Mincemeat may have been revealed, but the world of intelligence is built on secrets. And some secrets are still waiting to be uncovered. Please don't forget to subscribe to my page. Follow, like, and share for more hidden history, untold stories, and fascinating historical mysteries.